FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
It's essential, I think, that we end up with a Democratic president after the next election, and that it be a Democratic president who actually does something about this, unlike the last Democratic president who punted on it. You know, carbon emissions rose 10% during the Clinton administration because they had other priorities. Okay, I've been working signed on early on the Environmentalist for Obama ticket, mostly because, I mean, they're both taking the right position and more or less about things, but because I'm so obsessed with this idea that the critical nexus for the next 4 years is going to be this international negotiations that we're going to have to carry off. Right now, with good reason, this country is pretty much despised in much of the rest of the world, you know? People don't like us much anymore, and those of you who travel abroad know it. And my guess or hope is that the quickest thing that we might do to kind of force people to reevaluate America a little bit and let us back in the game in some sense is to elect, you know, a black guy with a funny name president of the United States. And I think everyone around the world would almost be forced to say it. There's more going on there than, than the sort of caricature that I had built in my mind of the U.S., which there is. There's a lot more going on here. This is an amazing place, and the fact that for 8 years it's been represented by George Bush, you know, and people, that's been our face to the world, is a great shame. And it's been a great shame, especially because it's been such a critical 8 years for climate change more than anything else.
Do you sense that, first of all, have you talked with Obama directly about climate change, and whether you have or haven't, do you sense that he grasps this aspect of just how fundamental the shift has to be? Because, of course, the criticism occasionally of Senator Obama is that he is better on lofty principles than on actually the nitty-gritty doing it.
Let me make one prediction that, you know, if Obama becomes president, all of us at some time or another will be disappointed, you know. It won't be as amazing as whatever everybody kept saying is going to be, you know, and one would be prepared for that. He's talking much better about this stuff in recent months. He seems educable on it, and he said something that for me was very important about 3 months ago. He said, you know, even before I'm elected president, as soon as I've sewn up the nomination, which now, you know, may never happen, who knows, you know, but I'm going to start talking to other leaders around the world about this issue of climate change, because I think it's beginning to dawn on him that though it's not going to be the central issue of the campaign, it's going to be the central or a central issue of the next presidency. That it's the lens through which both economics and foreign policy are increasingly going to be conducted.
What makes you think that he thinks that, as opposed to Bill McKibben thinking that?
Listening to what he's said, including that idea about going and consulting with the rest of the world, I think he really is. Who knows? We'll see. What I really think is, it doesn't matter who gets elected. What I really think is that what's crucially important is to build the movement that holds whoever is elected accountable on this issue. Okay? None of this stuff happens by itself.